Okay, hey everybody, this is Adrian, and I have another Otome video for you. So, if you didn't know, Idea Factory has a new game coming out on the Switch that has been translated into English and has come to the West market. I'm not exactly sure how old 9-Rip is over on the Japanese side because I don't read Japanese, so I really don't pay attention to the releases over there until someone tells me that it's getting translated into English. So I'm not sure like how old it is or whatnot, but we're getting it and it drops October 15th. If you bought physical editions, they're probably shipping soon. They may arrive early. And then if you, of course, you can buy digitally on the Switch. So thankfully, I'm very happy about this, that I got a key from Idea Factory through Keymailer. So I got it like a week before the game's supposed to come out, so I could, start playing a little bit and do some review videos. So I'm very appreciative of that, and I'm very much having fun. So 9-Rip. So 9-Rip is an Otome game. I assume you probably know this if you're coming to this video, but 9-Rip is an Otome game, and it's a little bit spooky. Not a lot of spook, but just a tad bit. But the story revolves around ghosts, spirits, other things from Japanese folklore. The artist, who I don't know her name, I think it's Yuya, is the artist of Cupid Parasite, which is my favorite Otome game. So I was really excited. And I've also learned, since that they also did the art for Cafe Enchanted, which came out on the Switch in the West a few years ago, which I have not played, but it's going to get on the list. And then also, I believe they did the art for Pub Encounter, which I have. I don't think I ever actually played it though. And I think it was on Switch and Steam. So anyway, I really like this artist. So that's kind of one of the reasons I was kind of excited about 9-Rip, is I was like, ooh, the artist from Cupid Parasite. Now it's very much, it's not, 9-Rip is not really similar to Cupid Parasite in any shape or form beyond the art. There have been some Twitter jokes about it being 9-Rip being gothic Cupid Parasite, which I do think is hilarious and super memey, but not quite. So the storylines are very different. Number of guys is different. So in 9-Rip we have nine guys, 9 routes. So it kind of reminds me of Charade Maniacs in that aspect, because Charade Maniacs had like 9 routes too. I do like this one a little bit better because, like in Charade Maniacs, most of the guys only have like one ending, whereas in 9-Rip, the guys have like 2 good endings and then a few bad endings so far from what I've seen. So I am liking it better than Charade Maniacs because I like having the different endings. I don't know, maybe just me, but I like having the different endings. I think it's fun. So yeah, 9 guys, which is a lot. It's a lot for a game, so I'm happy to see that. I gotta love getting all the husbandos. And I started with Kureha, who is the gentleman behind me. He is the Kara ghost, which you'll find out really quickly in the game. So I do want to just give some information. 9-Rip is a little bit interesting in that it has 4 common stories, and like each one leads to 2 characters, and then one leads to like the secret character at the end. So the school ghost stories is the one that Kureha is in, and also with Hibiki. So 2 guys per route. The downside to that is I kind of like seeing all the guys interact. So like, since I've only played through Kureha's route, I've met some of the other guys, just like a teeny tiny bit, but not very much. So like some of them I haven't met at all. So I kind of like, I don't like that as much. But having the 4 different common stories is quite interesting, because you basically have like, 4 different, like, they're pretty different. So the story is about you get spirited away, or actually, one of them looks like maybe you die and turn into a ghost. I played a couple of the other common stories to figure out where to go for him, because I wanted to start with Kureha. And at first I was very confused because like, oh, there's completely different common stories. This is interesting. So fun, different than most other Otome games I've played, but not a bad thing. So Kureha, he is his route. I hate to say this. I love his character design. I did not love his route. So he has two good endings and like I think four bad ends. And one of the good endings is kind of bittersweet. And I'm like, where are we going to go with this? Because just in case you didn't realize, you are alive. You are a human. You are alive. You get spirited away, and most of the men are ghost. I assume all of them are ghost. Some of them may be folklore creatures. I haven't got that far yet, so we'll see. But Kureha is a ghost. He is dead. He is very dead. Okay. Um, where's your future gonna go with this? So like one of the happy ends was kind of like, I was not expecting that. And the other one was like, okay. So I'm really curious. I think there's been like, I don't think the fan disc has come out for this game, but I think I've heard stuff where there's gonna be a fan disc. So the endings do make me very curious for like, where is this gonna go with the fan disc? I do want to know. Um, so Kureha, he is basically the school ghost stories is like, hey, there's a bunch of ghosts in your school. You have the seven wonders of your school, which are tied to ghosts, which I've seen like lots of times and, anime and stuff and manga pop up before. So I assume this is maybe a pretty standard Japanese folklore thing. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. Definitely in my schools, we did not have ghost stories. So I'm really curious, is this a common thing in Japan? Uh, so you get spirited away and you kind of get trapped in this other world. In order to get out of it, you have to basically find the seven wonders and learn the ghost names. And Kureha is like the first wonder you meet. You get his name pretty quickly. And he's very much enamored with you from the get-go. Even, like he's like very nice to you. He's a good ghost. He's not trying to attack you or touch you or kill you or anything like that. He's not doing any bad things. He's very nice. He's very gentlemanly. Um, so he's very sweet. And it's kind of funny because really quickly I'm like, he's into you. Like it's like, hmm. And the one like kind of hitch in the story is he does not remember how he died. So you're finding these seven wonders and you kind of find out that everyone is more or less linked to these murders that happened like 70 years ago, something like that. In the mansion that was, previously on the school grounds. Okay. So that's why your school's haunted, because a bunch of murders happened in the mansion where your school is. Now, Kureha's route is kind of interesting. Like you learn some tidbits, but you really don't get all your questions answered. So I did find that a little bit frustrating, but it's also the first route. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, my assumption with how Otomes tend to go is I'm gonna have to play like through like seven guys or something before I really get any of my questions answered. I'm at that point, guys. That's just what I expect at this point. So I liked his CGs. Overall, what I'm seeing from 9-Rip and looking at, the empty CG gallery, it really doesn't seem like everyone has very many CGs, which is kind of disappointing because I really love CGs. And if you're looking for romance, this route, not really super romantic. Like it's very much a slow burn. There is no spice at all. You're a high schooler. There is no spice. So if you want spice, you go somewhere else. You're not going to get it in this route, and I assume we're not going to get it in this game. Just being honest, I assume this game is very, very low on the spice content. Um, so it does seem to be a game that's more focused on the story. So I like Kureha's personality. I like his character design. I did enjoy the CGs that you unlock throughout the route with him. But I didn't really like his route overall as a whole. Too many questions like left unanswered, and realistically, um, I'm a little bit more romance girl, so I would have liked a little bit more romance. Now, granted, you're kind of trapped in a weird world with like ghosts and stuff. So, to be fair, expected romance. This is not exactly the place for romance. So I have maybe unrealistic expectations. So, but I'm excited to go to the no route, the next route. Words, that can word, guys. I'm excited to go to the next route and see how it goes. Um, Considering like I don't feel like I got any really like spoilery things throughout this route, like super duper spoilery things. I didn't get like a ton of questions answered. I do think this is probably a good route to start with. And because like, they have similar common routes, I'm gonna go to Hibiki next. So like probably what I'm gonna do, like there's 4 common routes, right? And just go by common route and play each guy. That's kind of my plan for the moment. So yeah. Is his route super duper long? It's kind of hard to gauge. It doesn't feel like it's crazy long. And again, we're getting like a bunch of different endings, and then we're also getting like 9 guys. So I feel like the game length as a whole is probably gonna be like the same game length as like Cupid Parasite, just with like more guys and shorter routes rather than having like the core 5 guys and longer routes in Cupid Parasite. I don't know. I got through his route faster than I was expecting, which is good for me because I got to get this video done. Um, so, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, I'm probably still going to get 30 to 40 hours out of this. So the routes being on the little bit of the shorter side don't bother me too much. So it's kind of up to your preference. Again, like content wise, it seems like it's probably gonna be, normal length of a Otome game. Just, you got 9 guys instead of like some of the others that have like 5. So, but yes, probably only other like maybe like minor complaint is I miss Lynette from Cupid Parasite. I miss the pink hair. This isn't really a complaint, really. I'm not in love with the main character's design as much as I am in Cupid Parasite, because Cupid's Parasite, she has pink hair. Um, but the main character is pretty sweet, and she has some family issues going on. Like you figure it out pretty quickly that she is what, second year, so she's having to think about college. She has no idea what she wants to do with her life. Kind of like standard every teenager, right? And having issues with her mom, like pretty much every teenager, right? So overall, liking the game. Would I recommend you to play it? Yes, yes, I would so far. I mean, I can only, to be fair, guys, like, and this is not included necessarily indie Otome games, but I've been playing like Otome games for a long time since Hakuoki came out on the PSP, and there's only like one Otome game from Idea Factory that came out like a long time ago is Period Cube. I did not like Period Cube, but I've pretty much always enjoyed all the other games that have come out. I'm pretty easy to please, to be honest. I just like romance and the hot guys and the pretty pictures and a story, you know? So, anyway, I would love to hear if you're playing the game. I would love to hear, who's your favorite character. To be honest, Kureha was like design wise, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be the favorite. But, I'm waiting to see. I'm thinking maybe Senna might be also. I like how he looks too. I very much judge on how they look. I know I'm terrible. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you guys later, and bye bye.